Alright guys, Big T coming at you today with another mini review. So today, I happen to be out and about, getting the car cleaned and whatnot, and kind of stopped into just one of the local Admiral tobacco stores, nothing too serious, and happened to stumble across these. So this is the Macanudo Montego I believe is how you pronounce it, or Montego miniatures. So interestingly enough, it seems like Macanudo is the one brand that seems to have a lot of these minis going around. It's kind of interesting packaging. This is all like supposed to be like a stay fresh pack with locked in humidity so that they don't get dried out. So we'll see if that works or not. Here on the back it says Macanudo's first premium cigar to feature humidity protection packaging. This packaging ensures the same distinctive Macanudo smoothness you have always enjoyed cigar after cigar. So kind of like not really a blister pack per se, but it's sealed. You can tell on both ends there's a little bit of this glue here that just kind of held the flap down, but it's sealed both ends. It's got your nice little tear here mark, so we'll see if that works. Well, kind of, I guess. I was kind of interested to see what kind of a box or packaging was inside this. I didn't know if it was going to be a tin. It didn't quite feel like a tin. It felt like it had a little more give to it. So it is a box. It's got that giant ass Surgeon General's warning logo. Both sides, of course, for legal purposes, I'm sure. So we'll get rid of that packaging. So I did a little bit of homework on these before I opened them, and I don't have my notes with me, of course. So let's see if I can remember this. It's supposed to be mild strength, and it's supposed to be, let's see, wrapper, binder, filler. I know the binder was Mexican tobacco. The filler was a combination of Mexican and Dominican Republic tobacco. And the wrapper, I believe, was supposed to be a Connecticut wrapper. So let's open this up and kind of see. The inner packaging, cardboard box, same logo as the outside packaging. It's got a nice little flip top. It's hinged. And then here's our little minis. So these are a little bit bigger than the Inspirados that I was getting, and you only get 8 of these in a pack. Oh, so these are the Cafe miniatures. So that's what I was wondering when I was looking up the homework on them. Everything I saw said Cafe. But on the outside packaging, I didn't see anything that said Cafe. So I was like, well, are these the Cafe? Are these not Cafe? So these are the Montego Cafe miniatures. Right here inside in the lid here, I'm just going to read that for you real quick. So it says, Macanudo Café miniatures are made with the same aged Connecticut shade wrapper and are rigid standards as our large cigars. The result is a distinctively smooth yet complex character that has earned Macanudo its lofty position as America's best-selling premium cigar. Enjoy. So Connecticut shade wrapper, a Mexican binder, and then Dominican Republic and Mexican long filler, or filler in the middle. So each of these is singly wrapped in cellophane, and it's got your nice little pull tab here like you see on the Black and Mild Swisher Sweets and whatnot. Very light tobacco smell inside the packaging. I am glad that they came in cello, so that's good. I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be a tin, so I did bring along something else to throw them in to keep the humidity right as I am on my way to work. Brought me a little baggie, a little Zycar Bovita pack in there, 62%er. So now that we've got the packaging open, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take that little Bovita pack deal, I'm going to throw it inside the box, like so. Close that box up. Then we're going to go right ahead and put that box in the Ziploc sandwich baggie. And the only reason why I'm really doing this, A, because I don't want them to dry out, even though they're individually wrapped in cello and the whole shebang. I have a feeling they'd probably dry out fairly quickly, just because they are very small. Yeah. And because even though it is supposedly 42 degrees right now here in Holland, Michigan, it's mighty freaking cold. The wind chill is very low today, so we got those. I'm going to toss them in my little EDC bag here, and we'll just bring those on in with us to work. Keep them nice and warm, keep them out of the cold car. So, let's go ahead and open this up. That pull tab worked fairly well. Wrapper feels kind of dry, so I have a feeling that this is going to burn up fairly quickly. It's got like that, like an earthy tobacco and some of that barnyard kind of funk to it. It's very lumpy and bumpy. Definitely not necessarily quickly rolled, but with the miniatures, I would suppose that they're not too worried about the quality of the wrap on them. It was interesting to see that this has both a wrapper and a binder, though. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Connecticut shade wrapper is a very thin wrapper, so that makes sense. Yeah. So, kind of a wonky looking cigar. I did bring the lighter and the cutter today, in the off chance that it didn't have a cut tip, but the head is cut, so won't need the cutter. But we are going to go ahead and use the lighter. Today we're going to be using our little Firebird single jet. We'll light this one up and we'll get it going. I am going to toast the foot just a little bit. Something interesting I just noticed. Kind of right here, right in the tiny little end here. I don't know, the camera's not going to focus, but I can see just a little bit, just the slightest little bit of green tobacco in there. Kind of like, not necessarily Claro by any means, but. So I am going to heat the foot up just a little bit. Before I commence with the lighting, the full lighting. It's a very delicate wrapper. All right, and we're rolling. Initial flavors. Earthy tobacco, cedar. Almost along the lines of like a creamy cedar, but it's not super creamy yet. This wrapper is very delicate indeed. The wow, the end of this is just kind of coming right apart on me. If you can see that or not, but right there, yeah. So we're gonna lick it and stick it. Yeah, lick it and stick it. All right, well, let's get the road, or get the show on the road, rather. I'm going to try to do this with as few cuts as possible. think that cap's going to give me a little bit of an issue. All right, guys. Let's get rolling. So we had a pretty decent weekend. Oh, just dropped something here. Had a pretty decent weekend. Was supposed to do a little bit of auto work. I was supposed to do the brakes and rotors, as well as an oil change on my sister's car. But unfortunately, on her way here, I think she might have blew her motor. So, I'm a pretty firm believer in the fact that everything happens for a reason. Whether you want to call it karma, destiny, choose your pronoun there, but I would like to think that that happened because she was very headstrong about that particular car. For reference sake, it was a 1998 Subaru Forester. She picked it up fairly cheap. I think she paid a little more than she should have for it. I had a few issues when she got it. She spent a little bit of money on it, getting the complex alarm system disengaged. She was having an issue with that, where it was locking her car out. She couldn't get in it, couldn't get the alarm to go off. All that nonsense. So she's put a little bit of work into it, but I like to think that this is maybe kind of giving her an opportunity to get something better. So we'll see how that goes. The motor still cranks over, but the radiator was bone dry, so I think she might have gotten lucky and just blew the radiator on it, but we shall see. So instead of working on her car yesterday, I ended up having to go and save her. God damn it. Got it towed over to a shop. See what they say. I don't know about you guys, but it always makes me feel a little bit better when I can help somebody out. It's not like an ego thing, like I'm trying to be better or anything. I like helping people. Especially family. Both of my younger sisters pretty much grew up without their father. So, me being the oldest sibling, I'd like to kind of think that, not really that I assume that role, but they look up to me a little bit. So, I like to help them out when I can. Especially my sister Liz, the one whose car broke down. She actually wanted to learn, but she had approached me about working on her car. It wasn't like the average person where they're like, "Hey, do you think you could do this for me?" It was more of a, "Can you help me change my oil because I want to learn how?" Perfectly fine with that. I'm actually glad that she took the initiative to ask, not only for the help, but that she's willing to learn. A lot of people these days aren't like that, especially the younger generation. They just want everything done for them. They don't want to take the time to learn because if Joe Blow over here can do it for me, why would I learn how to do it? Why should I learn how to do my oil change when I can bring it to his shop? Well, if you know how to do it yourself, just buy the parts. Might save you half the cost. You won't have to pay anybody to hold your car for 2-3 hours for a job that takes 20-30 minutes. You know? I don't know, maybe that's just the Dutch in me trying to be cheap. Who knows? So far with this Inspirato, it's kind of comparable to the Orange Minis, except it doesn't have that harsh, not harsh, but it doesn't have that spicy red pepper finish on it. It's got a little bit of a black pepper finish, but not super spicy. And most of that comes through on the retrohale. Still just a solid tobacco core, nice earthy tobacco core, along with some of that cedar. Pulling into work here, we gotta find a spot to park. Wow. I guess my wife is right. I definitely don't know how to park. Of course, it doesn't help that this parking lot always seems a little funky as well. Go ahead and kill that. So yeah. It's almost got a little bit of a zing to it. I want to say, I think it's the Mexican San Andreas wrappers that always have like that weird zing to them. This kind of has that. That black pepper kind of builds up on the back of your throat, on the back of your tongue a little bit. It's burning very well, not as fast as I thought it would be. The draw is very decent, no issues there. It is kind of a dry smoke, so luckily I happen to have a beverage with me today. Iced coffee. I made my own cold brew concentrate. Using the Starbucks espresso blend, whole bean, coarse ground. Throw it in a cheesecloth bag. Throw it in the pitcher of water, just like a tea bag. Worked out pretty good. Take a little bit of that, pour it over some ice, throw in a little caramel silk, and top it off with a little bit of cold water, and there you go. Coffee definitely helps with that pepper blast in the back of the mouth. So I'm fairly excited. Shoot. I'm ecstatic. So this week, and then next week, not this coming weekend. So as I'm filming this is Monday. Probably publish it tomorrow or what have you. But, so not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So March 13th. Me, the wife, a buddy, probably his wife, gonna venture out to Muskegon to a B&M that I have yet to visit. So there's the first part of the excitement. I have not been to this place yet, so I'm looking forward to that. But they're doing a cigar rolling demonstration. So And it'll also be the first time ever for me going to one of those as well. So that's also very exciting for me. That and the idea of a weekend off and getting out to hang out with some friends and stuff is always exciting for me. So should be a good time. Hopefully. Hopefully. It will be. I'm sure of it. It'll be nice. It is a very dry smoke. So if you do get these, I would recommend having some form of libation with you, because you are definitely going to want it. I was just looking at the packaging, the inner packaging, the box. It happens to say on the back, I don't know if you can read that at the top or not, but it says, sale only allowed in the United States. That's interesting. I've never seen that anywhere before. Made by General Cigar Company in Dominican Republic, so we know General Cigars is the one that rolls them. Go figure. I like that it's got the recycle on there for the cardboard. That's cool. So 8 cigars. These were $11.99 at the Admiral. I don't know how far that franchise is spread, but that's not really what I would consider a B&M. They have a small stand-up humidor in there with some Macanudos and some Olivas. Just kind of your general run-of-the-mill, not really high-end, but kind of mid-range cigars. And a lot of acids. They carry a lot of acids. The Cuba Deluxe, stuff like that, the Blondie. But the only problem I have, and why I wouldn't consider that a normal B&M, is their little stand-up humidor is not, by any means, at the right temperature nor the right humidity. I didn't look at it today, but the last time I was in there getting a few things, their humidity was terrible. It was terrible. It was like way down at like 46 or something like that. I just don't know. If you're going to go through the trouble of having premium cigars, you should at least have the due diligence to do the upkeep and all that stuff on it. That's just the way I feel, but you know. So the flavor's not really changing a whole lot on this. Yeah, tobacco core, a little bit of cedar. Careful of that wrapper. I did the lick and stick on the cap, and now I've got another spot on here that's kind of flaking off on me. So, be gentle with them, guys. Be gentle with them. And ladies. Be gentle with them. I have a feeling that even though these are supposed to be sealed packaging with the humidification in them, I would almost be willing to bet that over time they probably lose some of that humidification. And like I said, they weren't at a premium cigar shop, so. But these aren't meant to be super high-end or anything. These are meant for you just to kind of throw in your pocket, take along with you, depending on where you're going. Of course, that box is a little big, though. I don't know if you could really fit that in a breast pocket. So, let's go for the numbers. So, construction, I'm going to give it a 2. Probably could have been constructed a little bit better. I think the wrapper's a little dry, so that might have a lot to do with it. Flavor, we're going to say 3, average flavor. Price point, $11.99 for 8 of them. I'd say it's pretty fair. We'll go with average on that. We'll do a 3. And then the overall experience, we'll say 3. It's an average. So let me add all that up, guys, and I'll be right back. Final number, 2.75. The Macanudo, done forgot the name already. Macanudo Montego or the Cafe miniatures. 2.75 on my scale. Not terrible, but not awesome. Kind of somewhere in between. So, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I got to get in here, get clocked in, get some work done, and I will catch you guys later, all right? Have a great day.